Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah. A key part of game is your bait. Now, I've talked about this several times, but always get new people, and let's be real, a lot of guys still ain't getting the basics. Now, I talked about hygiene, that's a part of your bait too. But bait really is just your overall physical appearance. More than just your face. Yeah, you got some bammers out there think, oh no, women just looking at the face. No. They'll look at, they start from the top all the way to the bottom. Indeed, since I'm famous for talking about, women checking out a man's shoes, I've had some women tell me they'll start with the shoes first. Your appearance is very much part of the bait. For those who don't understand, let me put it in a way that you can possibly understand. All right. Most guys out here want that very attractive woman, right? That very attractive woman. All right, and that's cool. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But understand something with that very attractive woman. She got guys trying to get at her from the moment she step outside her door. Maybe before that, some guys who happen to know her be texting her, be talking about, hey, what you doing? Hey, you need a ride to work? In fact, when I was working on one of my 1,000 jobs, there was this very, naturally beautiful woman, naturally beautiful, roll out of bed, literally. She always got a ride to work. Some dude would get up early in the morning, because we had to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Would get his ass up at 5 something. To go pick her up and stuff, right? Anyway, when you're talking about a beautiful woman, just give 20 dudes are trying to get at her a day. As soon as she step out the door, I don't care where she go, if she's very beautiful and stuff, right? All right, 20 dudes trying to get to her. She don't have time to try to find out what it is about each of them. The woman, just an ordinary woman, is determining in maybe 3 seconds, maybe not even that long, what she gonna do about the guy. Only thing a woman, regardless whether she's very attractive or just some plain Jane or average at best, shout out Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. All they can tell about a man in 3 seconds is his appearance. They be making a thing. On that show, which is the gift that keeps on giving, the balloon pop show, or the balloon pop shows at this point, because everybody's starting to do it. Women are making their choice in a few seconds, off their looks or whatever. Whatever, in a few seconds, right? Meaning, your bait is very important. And your bait is just your overall physical appearance, not just your hygiene, which I talked about today in my sit-down video, not just your face, which some bammers think, right? Some bammers be thinking, oh yeah, the woman just looking at the face. No, they looking at everything. Yeah, they looking at your body. Definitely, shoot. Even though I said I was going to avoid talking about that, I'll probably end up doing another height video, looking at your height. But then they looking at everything else. They looking at every little thing. They could be looking at your fingernails, everything. And they weighing it. And it depends on what they like. Now, you can't help what they like. You can't help it. Because you could have your best, you could be a certain height, muscular, consensusly handsome to most people who see you. And a woman still not like it. But it still don't take away from the reality that a woman is looking at that. Because women, you get some guys talking about, money and status. How do you suppose? First of all, let's look at that. I give you looks, right? I give you looks. But how a woman supposed to know your money and status in 3 seconds? She see you out walking and stuff. She can't tell how much money you got. And yeah, you got plenty of videos out there, prank videos, where a woman is checking out a guy who's getting in a fancy car. But let's be real, that's not happening on a regular basis. So most of the time, the majority of the time, you ain't gonna be near your car. You see that woman on the street, or you in a club or something, and I'll talk about that club in a second. The woman ain't gonna can't tell what's up. And if you in a club, let's just be real, a nightclub or something like that, most of the dudes in there ready to buy a fine woman, at least an attractive woman, a drink or something. Got money. Some dudes probably be saving up for a month just to go to a club, just to blow their money on a woman. Shit. That's what they be doing in strip clubs and stuff. Oh, incidentally, as a tangent, one of the things I'm going to do when I get a chance is check the stripper index. And that stripper index, that's more of a money thing. Like, if strippers are complaining about not getting tips like they used to, we might be in trouble financially. Check the stripper index. I'm gonna be checking that. I'm gonna, as soon as I be editing this and I say, oh, stripper index, let me look that up on one of my devices. But anyway, right? They be saving, so okay, they can't tell if you got extra money. They can't tell what you do for a living. You could be like some high-ranked doctor. How they gonna tell that you walking? You just walking down the street, or they meet you. Heck, even if they see you in a hospital, you can't tell the difference between a male nurse and a doctor. You really can't, except for their IDs. But shoot, most of the time you're gonna meet a beautiful woman, it's gonna be away from some place like that. So that woman, she can't tell. She can't tell whatever. She can't tell whatever that guy's doing. So she can't tell his status anyway. Yeah, it plays a part, but let's just be real. Most of the time they can't tell that. And indeed, on those balloon pop shows, those women, when they lined up, they notorious for popping on somebody who had a lot going on for them, just on for looks. And, I know some dudes will get mad because of that, but women, let's go back to the very beautiful woman that got at least 20 guys trying to talk to her a day. She don't have time. She making her decision. Even, and I know some guys be like, well, I'm just going to wait for choosing signals. Okay, whether you wait for choosing signals, whether you cold approach, she's made, all she got to make a decision on is how you look to her. How you look to her. And trust me, they look at everything. I'm just saying that some guys still don't get that, and I automatically know they ain't getting a woman. I automatically know women be checking out your shoes, everything, and shit, they be checking your level of cleanliness. If they close enough to you, they smelling you. Shit, they checking out all that stuff. But all of that is bait. One of the main things a man can do to increase the number of women that he can get to give himself a better chance is at least get his bait right, his presentation. Get his presentation together. Because women are judging a man on that, whether we like it or not. Because what else can they tell? And shoot, that's an old game right there. That ain't something new. And they ain't like some modern woman thing. Some dudes be thinking these modern women. Women back in the day had to do that. Women back in the day had to do that. Talk to Nana and Big Mama and all of them. Talk to your grandmothers and great grandmothers. Ask them why they really chose choosing a man. Don't believe for a second they automatically knew what a man did for a living. And then here's something else with you too. Let's say hypothetically they find out. Hypothetically they find out what you're doing for a living or something. Don't ever trust that type of woman. Don't ever trust that type of woman. Because that woman, she's definitely trying to use you for something. So you got to be thinking about all of that. But a lot of guys who have trouble with women, I see Popo up there. Anyway, a lot of guys, I'll be driving a little slow for a second, y'all. A lot of guys, and they usually get somebody coming from the other way. You can see them from this way. Because they always go to the same spot. They do the same thing every time. Pop their hood, Pop the back so you can't see the alarms and shit. Whatever, man. Yeah, I'm at 26 miles per hour. Anyway, right? Women can't tell. That's all they got. That's all they got. All they got is your appearance. All they got, and they make a judgment right there. If they don't like, you could be the perfect person for them too. You could click with them if you get a shot. And usually the only time you get a shot is if you're in some social circle with them, you work with them, you go to their church, someplace they can get to know you. Now that's different. That is different. But let's just be real. Let's keep it a buck. Most of the time, you ain't gonna be in that position. Most of the time, you ain't gonna be in that position. Most of the time, it's some woman you see on the street, and like I said, whether it's choosing signals, whether it's cold approach, they making that decision right away, and it is what it is. So if they making it on appearance, one of the best things you can do to really get that woman is make sure your appearance is good. That's one of the best things you can do. That's really one of the only things you can do, really. And yeah, of course, you still got to have conversation and everything, but you got to have that bait. If you going fishing, you got to have a bait. Now, I said it's stupid to always compare women to fish, but you still, in this case, you got to have some type of bait, or some people will call it a trap, whatever. Because that's what women checking on. Now, their logic, it could be whatever, but that's all they got. Once again, going to the beautiful woman. She got 20 guys. She don't have trying to holler at her. She don't have time to talk to all 20 men. She doing stuff. She don't have time. She's rarely in a space where she could just do something. If she walking down the street, if she's in a store, whatever. And in fact, if anybody who regularly talks to women, who regularly meets women, they can tell you about a woman looking up and down. They can tell you. If a man can say, well, hold up, I never had a woman look me up and down. Well, you got some stuff to work on, right? Apparently, you don't have something for them to looking down for. And yes, it's going to include every single thing. Yes, it will, like guys who say it's just faces. No, it's in there, but it's never just. Or height, or it's in there, but never just. They looking at everything. And that's enough. That's something else too. If you realize like you average face or medium ugly or something, or you ain't over 6 feet, you can still fix your clothes. You can still fix your appearance. You can still hit body game. There's still stuff you can control. In fact, that's one of the things. You can control your appearance to a great extent. You can control your haircut. You can control your beard if you got one, whether or not you have one. You can control your teeth. You can fix that. You can fix your teeth, right? Yeah, it might be a little bit of money with that. You can control your posture. You can definitely control your clothes. That's why I say if you're wearing some clothes or something, you can control that. With all the stuff you can control, like, the only thing you can't control really is height. That's the only thing. And shoot, even if you got some weight on you or you a little slimmer, you can still fix up something. You can still fix up your appearance. Because that's the first thing. That's the first pillar of game. Shout out Master Teacher BGS. I'll never forget when he broke that down. And he broke it down on simple terms. A woman got she got to like what she looking at. She got to like what she looking at. Like if you having trouble with women, yeah, you want to fix your face up as best as possible. But then you can only go so far with that. You want to fix your, you still want to hit the gym, posture. I'm going to say it over and over. Your appearance, everything that you can fix up. Because if you don't have that, very, 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 very few women going to give you the time of day. Now, you do got some women, they'll deal with somebody that they would call dusty or dirty, but usually the women like that are usually dusty and dirty themselves, if that's what you want. But like I said earlier, most dudes want that attractive woman, at the minimum attractive to them, and that's understandable. Now, if they could be supermodel of the world, that's even better to a lot of dudes. All right. But you competing with other dudes who fixing themselves up. That's something else to keep in mind too. You thinking you're going to get that woman any type of way, but you competing with dudes who actually, they don't need to listen to this video about appearance or fixing themselves up. They just going to do it. They just going to do it. And that's the thing, like, were they wearing certain clothes? I mean, when it fix it up, I mean, I'm talking all the way, even down to the jewelry you're wearing. Heck, really nowadays, even a tattoo somebody gonna wear. That's a very important part of the game. You gotta trap them first. Then maybe you can get into, well, you gotta trap them. You gotta bait them. You gotta give them a reason to want to talk to you. You gotta give them a reason to want to open the door and go further with you. And I want y'all to think about that. Because that's really the biggest issue with a lot of dudes. That's the biggest issue with a lot of dudes. They're not fixing themselves up. They ain't fixing themselves up. Or they don't have confidence when they walking and approaching women or whatever. Shit, that's a whole other conversation. And really, how you fix yourself up, that speaks to your level of confidence any damn way. That speaks to your confidence, what you got going on. Yeah, got going here for some. So, I want y'all to think about that, alright? I want y'all to think about that. You gotta have your shit together. You gotta have your shit together. Yeah, gotta go in here and do something real quick. So anyway, right? It's very simple. I don't have to belabor the point. It should, what's funny though? I gotta say this. It should be simple game, but then when you see a lot of dudes, you be like, well, damn, dude. I mean, I can't really judge your face or something, but shit, I can judge what clothes you wearing. What's up with that? You gotta just stop tripping off of that and everything. Yeah, I just got a candy gram, so I gotta take care of that in a few seconds. So anyway, y'all, that's all I got. It ain't too long today. I don't need to be long all the time, but really, really think about it, all right? Get that appearance right, all right? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace.